The sound. The sound of Herefordshire and Worcestershire.
And all the music you love. The music you love. BBC.
Hereford and Worcester.
So pleased to be here tonight. We're already at the 3rd of July. The year is just clicking by. I got caught in a massive downpour today. There I was, swanning about in my t-shirt and sandals, not a care in the world. One minute it was blazing sun and the next minute it was a cloudburst. I need to get one of those little mini umbrellas. Anyway, how was your weekend? What did you do? There was so much on. I don't even know where to start with, like a little look back and a review. We will have a bit of a catch-up shortly, but we're also looking ahead to what might be coming up this weekend. And tonight on the show, we have our plant-based food expert, Vanessa, on the show to talk to us about how to prepare for a plant-based picnic, and it is a lot tastier than you might think.
Kate Justice.
Some actual ideas for you. Some receipts. And
I don't know, but I've heard a lot of things in life before, a lot of cliches, but quite a few of them that I've heard come true if you play with them long enough. So don't say what you will or will not do. The first night we met, girl, you see we had it going on. I never thought it would last this long. The second night, baby, you see things got hotter. We kissed and held each other, and you made me holler, baby. I thought, oh yeah, I could hit it and quit it. Oh yes, I did. I hit it too long, I'm in trouble. Now I can't quit it. Yeah, I heard it before. Yes, I have. You have too. Don't say what you won't and will not do. Oh yeah. The third night, we left the club. On the way home, I confess I'm in love. The fourth night, things begin to change. You see, now I wanna get married to you, and won't you take my ring, babe? I never thought it would last this long. You see, a man like me don't fall in love so strong. She held me for the past 3 nights. What she put on me, you see, it made me wanna do right. I thought, oh yeah, I could hit it and quit it. Yes, I did. I hit it too long, just a little bit too long. I can't quit it. I'm in trouble, baby. I heard it before. Yes, you have to. Don't say what you want and will not do. Oh, yeah. Play it, Conrad. Oh yeah. Oh your heart. Oh, I thought I could hit it and quit it, y'all. Oh, that's all right. First night we met, you see we had it going on. I never thought, girl, it would last this long. But the second night, baby, you see things got hotter. We kissed and held each other, and you know you made me wanna holler, babe. I never thought it would last this long. You see, a man like me don't fall in love this strong. It's kinda strange, the way she held me the past 3 nights. What she put on me, you see, it makes me wanna do right. Oh yeah, I thought I could hit it and quit it. Yes, I did. I hit it too long, I'm in trouble now. I can't quit it. Got problems, y'all. I heard it before, and you have too. Don't you say you won't, don't say oh no. What you want and will not do. Listen to me right now. I thought, you see, I thought I could hit it and quit it. Oh, I got problems now. Hit it too long, oh yeah. Now I can't quit it. Oh yeah, I heard it before, and you have too. Don't say what you want and will not do. Oh yeah, I thought, you see, I thought I could hit it and quit it. Oh, yeah.
It is such a belter of a song. I just got caught chair dancing by Gavin from the newsroom. He laughed. In fact, he properly belly laughed. All right, Gav, I'm not that bad at chair dancing. I got in the mood, actually, for dancing yesterday because I was at the Linton Festival. Oh, it was good. It was so good. I went with my mum. She lives down the road. We're both local to the Linton Fest, Linton being far south corner of Herefordshire, you know, on the way to Ross. And the Linton Festival has just finished. And of course, all of us go, all the neighbours go. And everyone's like, oh, were you at the Linton Festival? Would you like some drinks vouchers? Are you going tomorrow? And stuff like that. So I couldn't miss it. Bumped into our very own Chloe Mogg, who was there camping. I know. Chloe Mogg from BBC Introducing. She was staying at the Linton Festival like a proper local. And it was just so nice to be at a festival. And it's really got my taste buds going now for festivals. Yes. I haven't been to a lot of festivals, and I think I've really got the taste for it this year. I'll have to be dragging my mum along to them all, actually. She was up and dancing before me. I know. I was just merrily sitting on my straw bale watching the band, sort of doing some chair dancing. And then she was up in front of the stage. Hats off. Anyway, I hope you had a good weekend as well, whatever it was you did. Obviously, I was here on Saturday. I was at the Ledbury Poetry Festival on Saturday as well. Different kind of festival. Very different, but gorgeous, and so much going on. Anyway...
Someone there might see, so we never speak.
On the way, we're going to have a lovely chat with Vanessa, who is our expert plant-based food chef. And I'm going to call her, well, she's an expert on all things plant-based, but promoter, if you like, because goodness me, her enthusiasm is infectious. Anyway, we'll recap exactly who she is and where you can find her when we have our chat in the next 10 minutes.
Steffi Graf, the defender, just waiting for Hush.
Gives the ball a couple of bounces.
Nadal serves at deuce.
It's a lovely little lob from Alcaraz.
Slice forehand from Williams.
Martina comes to the net.
It's outstanding defence from Murray.
In steps Djokovic. He's trying to win it here.
Every epic moment.
I can't believe what I'm watching!
Oh,
That's too good.
Don't miss a thing from Wimbledon with live coverage of all 18 courts. Watch on iPlayer, listen on BBC Sounds.
Feels so good when you slip and do it. Feels so good when you slip and do it. Girl, don't you blame me for what I'm doing. It's your man, he won't leave me alone. Now if you were taking care of your J.O.B., I wouldn't be wrecking your happy home. I know it means a doggone lot to you. But hey now, baby, don't you know that I dig it too? Oh, and it feels so good when you slip and do. And if I can satisfy his needs, more power to it. Now I don't mind being the other woman, 'cause it runs to me when trouble brings him to his knees. I know he gives you most of his money, but it's me he tries twice as hard to please. The more you chastise him, the more that you're helping me. And I'm gonna get his love, just you wait and see. I said just you wait and see. Oh, it feels so good when you slip and do it. And if I can satisfy his needs, more power to it. It just feels so good when you slip and do it. And if I can satisfy his needs, more power to it. Now I never meant for it to go on so long, but girl, he just keeps on thrilling me. He rides me in his car, even though we can't go far, 'cause he cares enough to be discreet. Although he makes no promises to stay, all I want from him is loving each and every day. Say loving each and every day. Oh, and it feels so good when you slip and do it. And if I can satisfy his needs, more power to it. It just feels so good, yes it does, when you slip and do it. So if I can satisfy his needs, more power to it. I don't want his money, what I want is his honey, 'cause it feels so good. Oh, it feels so good. Yeah, I said it feels so good when you slip and do it. It just feels so good when you slip and do. Oh, it feels so good, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just feels so good. Oh, it feels so good, yeah. When you slip and do it, when you slip and do it, you ought to try it one time, girl. There ain't nothing to it. It just feels so good. Oh, yes it does. Feels so good. Oh yeah. Said it feels so good.
Ooh, there's some bitterness in there somewhere, isn't there? Almost 20 past 6 now. In fact, it's 19 minutes past precisely. Have you watched any of the tennis today? I get a lot more into it next week. When the big ones start coming in more regularly. I am a Wimbledon fan. I'm not going to say I'm a massive tennis fan, but for some reason I just love Wimbledon. I think it's because it's properly the start of the summer in the UK, isn't it? And there's all that Pimm's and all those strawberries. Just so jolly. In fact, I do get into the competitive part of the sport. I love kind of big international sport, watching it on telly in the comfort of my own home. You wouldn't find me queuing up. No. If somebody invited me in hospitality, I'll be there with bells on, but I ain't queuing up. No. Some people love that, don't they? In fact, Sitting in the queue to get your tickets for Wimbledon is part of the experience, I'm reliably informed. Not an experience that I seek out, but if you do, fair play. Hats off to you. The other thing about Wimbledon, though, is it gets everybody really into playing tennis. It does make me want to pick up the racket. I can't find anyone who wants to play with me because I'm so rubbish. And it's a constant, like, oh, who's going to get the ball this time? Who's going to go and get the ball? Because I can't seem to hit it in the court. You can guarantee you're going to win if you play me at tennis, but there's a lot of running around after the ball. Anyway, in 2014, when we... Oh my goodness, that was 9 years ago, when we had the Olympics. No, hang on, 2012 we had the Olympics. That was 11 years ago. Get it right, Kate. Finger on the pulse. So 11 years ago, I hadn't had a television in the house. How long have I lived there? 18 years I've lived in the same house. And I didn't have a television for the first 7 years. And it was the call of Wimbledon and the upcoming Olympics that made me go and buy one. That's how into watching it I actually am. I haven't watched any today, though. So I've got it all to look forward to. And we will reflect Wimbledon, of course, a little bit on the show. Not a lot, a little bit over the next couple of weeks. Tonight on the show, we're going to welcome Vanessa back to the show. She is a plant-based food expert and expert speaker as well about the subject. What she doesn't know about eating plant-based isn't worth knowing. And it's not just ideas of what to cook and eat and buy and shop for. It's also ideas of how to shop affordably and also what it actually does for your health and well-being. So we'll pick her brains about picnics tonight on the show. She's on next after Kylie.
Some I say
Kylie Minogue, padum, padum. Really like it. It's a grower, that one, isn't it? And it's a bit of an earworm as well. So, Vanessa Sturman comes on the show. I think she's actually ended up coming on the show every month. And we just love picking the brains of our expert guests. And she is a real expert when it comes to plant-based eating. In fact, she is a health coach, a plant-based health coach and an expert speaker. And she's someone who is so full of enthusiasm for this way of eating. But she doesn't ram it down your throat either. You know, she knows that everything in moderation is the way to maintain things. So let's pick our brains about, well, tonight we're going to tackle picnicking when we get there eventually, because we've got lots of stuff to talk about. I also wanted to ask your advice on, just in general, what we should eat for our mental health. Yeah, you don't often associate the two things, but they go hand in hand. So I had a catch up with Vanessa earlier today and I said, welcome back to the show, Vanessa. How are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I am well. It's always so nice to speak to you because I know you're going to be so full of beans.
Oh, I mean, literally and metaphorically. But yeah, get that great energy in and I'll fuel from that food. I promise you, I walk the talk and it is wonderful, feeling fantastic and having a wonderfully functioning body and gut with delicious food.
Well, that is the key, isn't it? Delicious food. Because I'm going to confess something now. I'm quite good at looking after my regime. But every couple of months, I mean, you'd think it would be a monthly thing and it's kind of in line with the cycle. But it's every couple of months. I got to have a week off. I just got to eat a packet of biscuits and stuff. It's like, I feel like I want to drink some Prosecco and fall off the wagon. And I do it for about a week. And then I get back to the regime. So, I mean, delicious food is obviously the secret to staying on the course. But also there must be a little bit of, I guess, motivation involved.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, motivation can also just be the way we end up feeling. Because and falling off the wagon, I mean, that has different versions because I very much believe in making sure you build in those foods that you might love and they're not so healthy, but you let yourself have them so that you don't sort of go, I'm gonna eat all of it, every biscuit in the supermarket all at once. But just building those in. But the more we feel good and eat as much as possible healthily, the more motivation we have to keep doing it because I usually find my clients, if they go, oh, goodness, I really had a few days of eating horrendously, even though I say, look, it doesn't matter, they say, actually, but I felt terrible. And I actually want to eat better so that I feel good and have the energy that I really need. But that doesn't mean we have to go out the biscuits.
Well, you see, that's me today, feeling a little jaded after a weekend of, well, I'll tell you, I had a burger yesterday with bacon on it.
Right. Well, it's okay every now and then, though, because I know you also love all the other wonderful plants and healthy foods. I do. And whole
I really, really do. And I'm normally very good. And you're totally right. The way it makes me feel is just, so worth it. And that's why we like to bring you in every month to remind us how we can do it with a lot of diversity in our diets and how we can inject new creativity into, what we pick to eat.
Absolutely. And, diversity in what we eat. It's not just about, that's made my life more interesting. That's key to our gut health. It's key to getting all the nutrients we need. So we must get in all those wonderful colours and a diversity of food. That's what's going to keep us healthy and it's going to make us enjoy life.
Okay, enjoy life. We've talked a lot about the fact that, your gut's your second brain and everything, and looking after our insides inevitably makes us mentally better. Do you know much about why that is? I guess it's to do with enzymes or something.
Do you know what? It's a lot of things. So a few bits to think about. Our gut, first of all, it digests food. Our good gut bacteria help us digest food. And we all know that if we're not digesting food properly, that feels horrible. We can get bloating, we can get cramps. That's going to affect our mental health. And it also means we're not going to actually digest the nutrients we need as well as we could. So you've got this digestive part of the gut. We've also got, the gut makes a lot of our hormones and they affect our mood, our body's functioning. And if the gut can't do that properly, that's going to really affect our mental health as well. So there's lots of things that are happening with the gut around, digesting food, hormones it makes, just how that makes us feel. And that's all going to affect our brain. And there's still so many things that we don't know about, but we all know if we've got issues with our gut, that really affects how we feel. And we've got to be able to digest our food properly. We've got to be able to get the right nutrients. That's how we're going to be protecting ourselves against disease. That's how we're going to have the energy that we really need. And, getting more fiber in. And I keep reminding everyone, our good gut bacteria eat fiber. So if we're not feeding our good gut bacteria with a range of fiber, we're not going to have a healthy microbiome. And our microbiome just means the population of gut bacteria in our gut. And we've got to make sure that's nice and healthy and diverse. So we've got to be feeding it with lots of fiber and a diversity of fiber so that it thrives. And when our gut microbiome thrives, we thrive.
Fiber. Do we need to take probiotics, whatever they are?
Yeah, so that's always an interesting question. So probiotics are the good gut bacteria themselves. And we need the good gut bacteria. Now, a lot of probiotics will die before they even get to your gut because they're just not designed to survive the passage down. Not only that, the most important thing we need to focus on is what we feed our good gut bacteria, what we feed the probiotics. And what we feed them is something called prebiotics. But fiber is prebiotic. That's what our good gut bacteria eat. So if we focus on what they eat, that helps them thrive, that helps them grow, that helps this healthy population. And it's definitely a good idea to eat probiotic foods. And you don't necessarily have to eat them every day. A couple of times a week is fantastic. This is things like kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt. I definitely suggest going for the plant-based versions of the yogurt because that's not going to irritate the gut. That's just going to be really fantastic for you. But go for the ones without sugar. So we need to focus more on what our gut bacteria eat and make sure we're still having some of these probiotic foods.
Okay, I love all of that. That's really, really good advice. Well, it's a great insight. How do you know all this? I suppose it's your job now.
It's my job for sure.
Yeah.
And, you know what? I like to really cut through sometimes the things that you're being sold. Often everyone wants to sell you a probiotic. And actually what is harder to sell is a wonderful diversity of whole foods and fiber that can't be packaged up into one little thing, So sometimes we just have to look beyond the products as well. And I think that's where the real change is made is what is this wonderful diversity of food that I'm getting into my body?
That is Vanessa Sturman, plant-based health coach and expert speaker, talking to us about all things plant-based. And if you look on her Facebook page, Energize and Thrive Plant-Based, you can get loads of free advice from her there. We're going to talk picnics specifically with some really good food ideas with Vanessa in part 2 of our chat in the next 10 minutes. Walk the Moon, Shut Up and Dance. We've got Mimi Webb on the way and a kind of classic Jamiroquai song for you. Ooh, haven't had Jamiroquai on the show for ages. Let's have a little look at the weather forecast. We've had some rain today, haven't we? And cloud will build in from the southwest tonight. During the early hours, we've got longer spells of rain following, and these could be heavy at times, but the rain will tend to clear away towards dawn. Highs of 11 degrees overnight. Lows of 11 degrees overnight, so it's going to be very mild. Tomorrow, mostly dry and bright for a time, but patchy cloud will soon develop, leaving the risk of isolated showers later on. These could potentially be heavy and thundery with highs of 19 degrees. A bit more settled on Wednesday with partly cloudy skies and just a few isolated showers. Thursday will start bright but soon turn cloudy, and there is the chance of a shower or two. It'll turn brighter and drier later on Thursday, and then Friday will start dry, but clouds and showers will soon drift in from the west. At the moment, we're not quite sure how extensive the rain will actually be towards the end of the week. But there is a little look at your forecast for the next few days.
The sound of Herefordshire and Worcestershire. Together, we can make a difference. BBC.
Hereford and Worcester.
She calls in the darkness to a man who's not there. And though she knows he can't hear her, she knows he's out there somewhere. The crowds and the money, they come and they go. Is it all really worth it if he's never at home? 'Cause a woman left lonely needs a man by her side, but he's somewhere outside of Memphis with 6 more hours left to ride. The man makes his music and they try to survive, but the love of a woman keeps them alive. She's seen a lifetime of trouble and a world full of pain, when every day is just another struggle. It's not hard to complain, but she knows that he loves her when he holds her so tight. That man she calls out to in the dark, lonely night. The man makes his music and they try to survive, but the love of a woman keeps them alive.
that man she calls out to. In the dark, lonely night, the man makes his music, and they try to survive. But the love of a woman keeps them alive. Oh yeah, man makes his music, and they try to survive. But the love of a woman keeps them alive.
Kate Justice.
BBC. Hereford and Worcester.
tonight with Vanessa Sturman, who we have on the show with fairly regularity. Should have thought this through, really, shouldn't I? She's on every month, and the reason she comes on every month is because she is a plant-based health coach and an expert speaker. So if you want to go plant-based, if you're thinking about this, it's like a new way of saying vegan without all the politics that goes with it. You can do it via Vanessa's Facebook page, which is free. It's simply called How to Go Plant-Based. And she's also on Instagram, Energize and Thrive Plant-Based, if you want to look her up. So let's rejoin the conversation where I start to pick her brains on the subject of picnics. So let's talk about something that happens in the summer when you want to go on a picnic. I know that you said that you could come up with some really good ideas for a picnic, but that's a classic convenience scenario, isn't it? Where you just want to put together some treats. You want to keep everybody, because the whole thing is focused around sitting down to eat. And and also if you're responsible for packing the picnic, you kind of want everybody to like what you've put in. And and keep the kids entertained and pleased as well. I know that I've just got caught in an absolute torrential downpour, so we might not be picnicking today. But hopefully, people can make a note of this for the weekend and the school holidays. When it comes to plant-based eating, how do we head towards a picnic?
Yeah, this is always a really good question, because it can also, when people think I've got to pack up loads of food, the stress can set in for the person who's responsible. So I want to take away some of that stress as well, but also give everyone the options of, actually, I might want to home make some things, and I might want to buy some things from the supermarket, and we can have a mix. And it doesn't all have to be super, super healthy. We can have a nice balance so that we're not feeling terrible afterwards. We still want to feel full, satisfied, nourished, but we'll still get in some of the naughtier things as well. And this is good no matter whether you are plant-based or flexitarian. You just want to get more of these wonderful foods in. So some of the things that I recommend you could make at home to keep everything as healthy as possible and still delicious is, you could roast a massive tray of vegetables, for example, with lots of garlic. So you could do like a big roast veg tray of aubergine, peppers, courgettes, rubbed with lots of garlic and herbs and a bit of salt and pepper. Put those in a massive Tupperware. That's quite nice to bring. Another recipe I'm a bit obsessed with, if I'm honest, and hopefully the kids will like this too, is a pea and avocado guacamole.
Ooh.
And the reason this is lovely is that peas have obviously got a lot more protein in, so you get a higher protein dish, but it's also a bit better on the pennies as well, because avocado can be a bit more expensive. So it means you just need less avocado, more peas, and you still put loads of spring onion, garlic, maybe a bit of chili in there. Again, that can be nicely packed up. So that's really, really fun as well. And then you can make your own hummus or buy it. So it depends on how you're feeling about how much time you've got. Obviously, it's a bit healthier if we make it ourselves, but it really doesn't matter. So those are some lovely things that you can do. And what I love doing is frying a bit of tofu, and you can get pre-marinated tofu from the supermarkets as well. So you've got some extra lovely meaty protein in there. So I like to pack all of that stuff up and then probably go to Waitrose or Marks and Spencer's and buy some lovely falafels and olives and artichokes and, all that lovely kind of antipasti stuff, maybe some lovely sourdough, all the grapes and strawberries and wonderful things like that, as well as the crisps. We love to have some crisps as well. It doesn't mean they should be a big part of the picnic, but if you love crisps, buy those as well. Maybe bring roasted chickpeas as well with you for a healthier version. But it doesn't mean you can't have the crisps, and it doesn't mean you can't have the dessert. A picnic I was at recently, I got some lovely cookies and cream pots that are plant-based from Marks and Spencer's, and I definitely ate them.
That is really helpful, actually, because some really, wonderful food retailers are doing a lot of plant-based stuff. There's a whole shelf when I go in for my Tesco meal deal, there's a whole shelf of plant-based stuffs. And sometimes if you can't be bothered, you can just do it that way. Let the experts provide it for you. I mean, I know it makes it more expensive, and half the time we end up talking about how to eat plant-based whilst on a budget as well. But when it comes to picnics, it is quite nice to know you can go and get your tasty ready-made sandwiches, and the choices are almost just as big as non-plant-based choices.
Exactly. And I think, it's really important, like you're saying, that it's the choice, that even though we've been talking quite a lot about how do we save money, how do we bulk cook, sometimes you just want to save a bit of time, don't you? And you just want to get to the picnic, buy some things and do your contribution. And you don't want to be worried about, am I making something? But it always means the choice is yours. I tend to go for a hybrid personally. I do love making some things myself, and then I do love getting all those wonderful bits from the supermarket too. And it just means every picnic can be a bit different, which is very important for our lovely variety.
Very important variety. I like this. So you've already given us a couple of recipes, and you can get like plant-based. It's not just raw, is it? It's more vegan, I suppose, is probably the old-fashioned way of calling it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also a mix of the two is very good for us. So I love, maybe chopping up a load of carrot sticks and cucumber sticks to go in the hummus, but I also love making things as well. So, I love making fritters, for example, to go with a picnic. So those are like little patties, and you can make them with different kinds of leftover veggies. My favorite at the moment, especially if there are kids around, are sweet corn ones, because sweet corn and peas, kids seem to gravitate sometimes towards those kinds of veggies.
Yeah.
And they are super delicious. They're lovely. Again, you can dip those inside the guacamole or the hummus as well. And they're like little kind of mini, like vegetable burgers almost. So they're very fun and they're nice and cooked. But then it's lovely to bring a big raw salad as well, maybe with a garlic and tahini dressing. So tahini is like peanut butter but made with sesame seeds, and that's a lovely dressing to go on a salad. So you could just chop up a big salad like that with a dressing and then buy everything else out if you wanted to. So you've got a mix of the two, but you haven't had to spend too much time at home.
That makes sense. So my mouth's watering now, That's brilliant, Vanessa. Remind us where we can look on your page so that we can get all of this information for free.
Oh, lovely. So I've got a wonderful group on Facebook called How to Go Plant-Based. That is for anyone who just wants healthier habits, great energy, great gut health, delicious food, and your version of non-restriction. So it's full of people who are fully plant-based, flexitarians, vegetarians, just people who want to eat delicious food and have great health. And if you're not on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram under Energize and Thrive Plant-Based. And I'd be very, very happy to be sharing these lovely recipes with you.
That is Vanessa Sturman. Honestly, it's inspiring and mouth-watering, isn't it, our conversation? She's a plant-based health coach and expert speaker. And just in case you missed it, Facebook, How to Go Plant-Based, and Instagram, Energize and Thrive Plant-Based. I mean, that title on its own makes me think we should.
When we're
It's good, that, isn't it? You Make Me Feel, and then Mighty Real in brackets. It's a redo of that amazing, famous song. That is Adam Lambert on the male vocalist there. He's the frontman of Queen. And Sigala, working with him on that one. We've got a very cool dancey track from Missy Elliott and Flo up next.
Fosco champion, meant to be some global superstar, and he needs his little sister to write most of his songs for him.
Sibling rivalry never sounded so epic.
But someone with talent like yours ain't never gonna have it easy. I can make you a star.
I ain't a star kind of girl.
With music by Ray Black, Gets and more.
Oh, that's my girl. It's champion versus champion now, so get ready.
Champion. Watch all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
Put it in. Take my love and put it in your mix. I'm waiting patiently, hoping that I can be in your mix. I'm still here. It's you that I adore. Just wait, there's so much more in my mix. Sweet as honey it can be, but you're the lock, you're the key. All the love you need is here, so open up and have no fear. Girl, to you I'll give my all, and I'll be there when you call. I know the things that you can do, just know I'm always there for you. Oh, you know, I'm the best you know. Me and your mix, I need to be right there. I can love you right, and we start tonight. Your mix. Something you need to know, how much I need you so in my mix. Yeah. So don't keep love to yourself, you'll find a greater wealth in your mix. Smooth as honey and wound, and I'll love you with dignity. I wanna be with you so much, I wanna feel the way you touch. All the love you need is here, and no more lies and no more tears. Let me come inside your world, I can make your toenails curl. I might be the best you know. Put me in your mix. I need to be right there. I can love you right, and we start tonight. I need to be there. For all you know, I'm the best you know. In your mix.
Another one for the running playlist. Oh, I've had a week off running and my knee is so much better. I'm sure my aerobic fitness is already starting to decline, but my knee, I might have to get one of those brace things. Anyway, on the way in the next hour of the show, hope you've enjoyed it so far. We're going to speak to the wonderful Deborah Rose. She has a new single out and we'll hear it before 8.
Herefordshire and Worcestershire.
And all the music you love, the music you love.
BBC.
Hereford and Worcester.
It's quite a pleasant evening. I suppose it depends where you are. We have had a few hefty downpours at times today, haven't we? And they've just arrived with no warning. How rude. And I'm just not set up for the rain. I don't know about you. I saw a bunch of people outside today with umbrellas and I was thinking to myself, how did you remember that? Anyway, here we are on a Monday night. Monday means a brand new introducing artist of the week. So we've got some more incredible local music to share with you after 9 o'clock tonight. Speaking of which, my guest in the next hour was picked up by BBC Introducing. She has family living in Droitwich and spent a long time there herself. Deborah Rose now lives in Ludlow, just on the very edge of our patch, and she has a new single out. It's beautiful, and we're going to chat to her about it in the next hour of the show.
Kate Justice.
Американская фирма Transceptor Technology приступила к производству компьютеров «Персональный спутник».
Attack, front to back, in this thing called rap. Feel like a double rhyme double on a heavily level. Bang the bass, turn up the treble. Blast on my day and night all the time. 714, wise the line. Maniac, radiac, winning the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James. goes through the rest of the microphone that I am holding. Copywritten lyrics so they can't be stolen if they all snap. Don't need the police to try to save them, your voice will sing. So please, stay off my back or I will attack, and you don't want that.
Very good track, and we've got a bit of George Michael Fast Love on the way. First, Panic at the Disco, which we try to never do. This is High Hopes at BBC Hereford and Worcester.
Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars but I couldn't make a killing, didn't have a dime but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million, always had high hopes. Mama said, something for oddities, stranger cruises, ain't ever wannabes, winning the novelties that don't ever change. We wanted everything, wanted everything. Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Oh, stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Mama said